Hey, what's up guys, Guardian here, coming to you guys with a discussion video today, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that's been on my mind for the best part of a year, I think. I think set 4 onwards was when this started to become more of an issue. I think Magnolia and also the Prison deck had some promo cards that were pretty expensive at the time. I don't know what they're like now, I think they've gone down in price. But yeah, obviously we're going to be talking about promos and the effects that they have right now when it comes to the west side of the game. Is that they're just a bit too inaccessible right now, and I know that they're going to be improving upon this with set 9 onwards. They're going to be putting promo cards in as box toppers, so it'll be easier for the English side of the game to pick those up. That is good. That is a good change, and it makes the game better. So yeah, I can't argue with that. But one question that came to my mind when that announcement got made was, okay, cool, but what about the promo cards that came out before that change, you know? And I'm mainly worried about that because we recently had the release of set 7, and I know that set 8 is just about to come out. And we have some new support for some decks that I play, which I just can't find or necessarily afford. Now, I have been able to find these cards, and in case you're not wondering what I'm talking about, obviously it's the Emmeline Grade 2 promo for Blasters, and the Halb Grade 1 promo for Draconic Overlord. Because I play each of the encounter decks from set 5, and yeah. Emmeline, the only one that I've been able to find is like on eBay, and there's like only a couple of sellers. And this card ranges from the prices of like, I mean, it seems to be like between 30 and 40, which is it's kind of ridiculous, right? And I know that there's another promo within this price range as well. Before we get to the Draconic Overlord one, there's also the Eva promo, which is of course expensive because of being meta relevant as well. But if you look at the context of the Emmeline promo, like MLB is not necessarily meta relevant, and PBO is like a fine deck, but it's not necessarily like, you know, breaking the barriers in terms of like the meta scene. But it's still good. But it's crazy that a card like Emmeline is still that high in comparison to like the Eva promo, which is meta relevant, but again, it's a mixture of inaccessibility and just the demand that these cards have, that cause such the high price spikes. And it really sucks that we just have these staple like cards for decks and ride lines that are just needed to improve them, but we just can't get our hands on them like easily. So I'm really hoping that even though they are making promos box toppers from set 9 onwards, they do address the promo issue and, you know, make something across the lines of a reprint set, or, you know, put them in some of the main sets like they've been doing recently with like Brainwash Swirler, Painkiller Angel for English, you know, stuff like that. Because it really just puts a gate in front of potential new players as well. You know, let's just hope any new players coming in the game don't pick a ride line that has like a hard to find expensive promo and just be like, oh well, I guess I won't play that deck, you know? It just kind of sucks, and it doesn't make the game better. It actually just makes matters worse. And this needs to be addressed, which, again, Bushrod has kind of addressed this to an extent, but we need to go further with it. Because having these promo cards just become really expensive and just hard to get is just not fair on the players of those decks who have, you know, had them for a while, and then all of a sudden their support card is just, you know, nigh impossible to get, pretty much. So let's move that on over to the Draconic Overlord promo, which I found some on eBay. Well, I say some. I found two. Two different sellers. And this card ranges between, how much is that? Like 60 to 70? That's including the postage, by the way. Yeah, 60 to 70 is a lot. I thought the Emmeline one was bad. Oh boy. I feel a lot worse for any Draconic Overlord fans, because that's nasty. Now, I will say one thing in terms of the price here is that this isn't necessarily Bushiroad's fault in terms of them being like put at this high value, right? Because that's out of their control. This is just the effects of the secondary market. But there's a reason why these cards are expensive. Even something like the Emmeline promo has a price tag to it, just because people are aware of the demand and the accessibility not being in line with each other. Thus the high price tags. So, yeah. So that's sort of my little complaint there, but I do want to give some form of feedback in terms of how we could improve this. So I think a good example is Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, because what they do is that, I'm pretty sure what Yu-Gi-Oh! Does, I don't know if they still do it, is that they have like an ultra rare version of the card in the sneak preview, but then you can get a lower rarity version of it in the main set, like a rare or something, right? Or something like that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too familiar with how Yu-Gi-Oh! Does things these days, but I believe that's the case. And then with Magic, they have promotional packs where you can get like alternate arts or foil versions of cards, right? So there's different versions that you can get, and it just has more stock available of these cards, which is fantastic. Obviously, there might be some, layers there that I might not understand fully, but it's at least better than what we have right now in Vanguard. And I do think it would be really beneficial if Bushiroad thought about continuing the promos, but instead of doing what they're doing now, make like a holo version of the promo as the promotional card, and then put a lower rarity version of it in the main set, right? That would just be far and ways better, just in terms of accessibility and allowing players to upgrade their decks. So yeah, there's probably a lot of other promos that I'm not remembering right now. Another one that comes to my mind is the Roroa one, which my friend Jordan plays the Roroa deck, and I think he picked up 2 of them so far. But again, they cost him like 15 or 20 each, which you'd prefer not to be the case, right? I know that some cards can be that expensive, right? Because if we look at a card like Tempest example from set 7, I mean, that card demands a pretty high price, but at least the card's available, at least it's listed, it exists at the very least, so you can buy it, it is there, it's just a really good card, right? But these promos are just far and away just a different beast, because some shops can't get them, some shops can, and then this whole juggle warfare just becomes a big mess, and then that's how you get these really high in demand prices for these cards. So that's sort of my initial, I suppose my overall take on the matter right now. Now, to give you guys a little bit an update on my encounter decks, I will be bringing you guys the deck profile on MLB, because there is an alternative build that we can play for the time being that doesn't require the promo. And I will be deck profiling that one in a day or two, so do look forward to that if you've been looking forward to an MLB update. Draconic Overlord, though, that one's going to have to wait, because unless they make a change to the promo system, I can't update Overlord, because I can't afford the grade 1 promo. It's too much, and quite frankly, that amount of money is it's just something I'm not willing to invest into just a support piece. I wouldn't mind doing something like that when it comes to like a high rarity card. I've been thinking lately about maybe getting some SP Darks, but still thinking about that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me guys what you think about this matter in the comments below, and any suggestions that you may have. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Alright, this is Guardian 205, signing out.